have been taking ASEA Redox for 10 years. And in this video, I want to share with you how I became such an avid believer in this being something to just support me proactively into the future. When I first came across redox signaling molecules and ASEA, I thought it was a scam. I thought it was expensive salt water. I actually refused to drink it for 6 months. So in this video, we're going to dive into my journey with this, what I've seen, my recommendations for you if you are on a journey of healing and looking to maximize your cellular health as well. If you're new to my channel, my name is Danielle Matthews, and I guide people on their healing journeys. I absolutely love helping people to regain their health. I myself lost my health in my 20s. So I was 23 years old. If I take you back to that time, I was hit by a drunk driver and suffered an injury to my brain, which basically pulled me from life. I couldn't work. I couldn't focus for more than 10 minutes. I attempted to go back to my job and push through, but I had pounding in my head that was relentless. I couldn't handle light. It felt like somebody had a flashlight in my eye. Just any sort of light. I couldn't handle noise. It all came in like a cacophony. I couldn't kind of siphon out what was important to listen to and what wasn't. My processing speed was really slow. I couldn't get the words out I wanted to. I was not articulate. And my just personality was different. I was very blunt. I didn't really have patience for much. And this was something that plagued me for a long time. I went to doctors. They said it would clear up in a month, 3 months, 6 months. At my 1-year appointment, I was told by a neurologist that, my body had done the healing it would do. And this was my new normal that I needed to adjust to. And thankfully, I was like, you're fired. There's no way this is going to be my life. And we kept searching, we kept looking. Now, I tried a variety of different things. Like, you name it, I probably tried it. And I had just plateaued. There was no progress. Some of the things I had done, it helped a little. Like, if I'd been a 10 out of 10 the day of my accident, I was maybe at an 8 out of 10 of discomfort. Still, I wasn't able to live. I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able to do the things that, you do in your 20s. I was basically in a dark room, blackout fabric, really, really struggling. And interestingly, we got a phone call from an acupuncturist that knew my family. She knew my mom, had been a student of hers actually, and said, hey, I've come across something. I'm using it in my practice, and all of my clients are having different results. It seems to be helping at the cellular level. And so it's non-specific, but it's helping to increase the signal. So damaged areas are getting repaired. Things are getting back into balance. Things inside the cell that have been switched off from toxins and stress are switching back on. And she said, I think it could pass the blood-brain barrier and help Danielle. So my mom intuitively was like, this is it. She bought it. She brought it home. If you don't know, my background is in biology. I got a degree from the University of Virginia. I graduated with distinction. I have always prided myself on my analytical mind, my ability to look at research and kind of conclude things. And so I said, well, where's the research? And back then, this is circa 2014, there wasn't much, okay? And it looked to me like, what does everybody say? Oh, it's expensive salt water. Like, it's water and sodium chloride. You bought salt water. You've been duped. This is a scam. And that's what I said to my mom. I refused to drink it. So my mom used it. Now, my mom was having difficulty with her hands. You could see. It was like, she had bone on bone. Like, she couldn't make a fist. It was very limited. 6 weeks of drinking this stuff, she's getting full range of motion back. She says her discomfort is down. And I'm like, gotta be a placebo. Like, the scientist in me is like, there's just no way that could have done that. And my dad, however, was a bit more of a open-minded person. And he said, well, let's see what it does for my joints. He had a bad knee. 10 days in, he's running without his knee brace on. He says he feels like he's 30 years old again. He's in his mid-50s at the time. And he's like, what's the research on this stuff? Are they seeing what this is doing for athletes? Because my athletic performance is through the roof. Well, turns out they had just done some research looking at the impact on athletes. And my parents really dove into it, came back to me and said, Danielle, here's what we've learned. This stuff cannot hurt you. It's native to you. It's in your body. It's not going to contraindicate with the supplements and the prescription. I was at that time on a prescription for migraines. And they said it can't hurt. No contraindications. You can't be allergic to it. It just might help. Give it 6 months. Let's see. So I did. I started like a good biologist. I said, no new variables. I've been plateaued now for over a year. Let's see what adding this in will do. And month 1, nothing. Month 2, nothing. Month 3, not much happened. And then kind of at the end of the month, it was like, oh, the pounding in my head isn't there. and I had energy. I wasn't having to nap. I could take the dog on a walk and go to the grocery store and still have energy to have dinner with everybody and talk. And my parents are like, don't you need to lay down? I'm like, no, something's shifting. I was starting to be able to get the words out that I wanted to. I was more articulate. I could focus better. It was like the fog I had been in was starting to clear. And I was still sensitive to noise and light. I don't want to make this out to be like, oh, I was healed, right? It was just like there was improvement in ways that I hadn't seen before. It was like all of a sudden my body realized there was an issue and was able to send what was needed to that area. So it was remarkable. Around this same time, the Renew 28 gel came out. Now, the Renew 28 was basically this in a gel form, more concentrated. And interestingly, I had been exposed to, my dog had gone, the family dog had gone running out in the woods, and I had been exposed to a leaf that I'm very allergic to. Basically, it causes me to get like red, bumpy, oozy, super irritated. This had happened to me earlier in the summer. I hadn't realized where the dog was running that did this, and I did it a second time 3 months later. But early in the summer, it had happened. Within 24 hours, I was covered head to toe. It took 2 rounds of prednisone, 5 weeks for me to clear this stuff up. So this happens. I get a patch again, just like last time, and I was like, I'm gonna be covered in 24 hours. We tried everything before, everything that CVS had to offer, right? Oatmeal baths and you name it, I was doing it. My sister's wedding was in a week. And I was like, I am the maid of honor. I'm going to look awful. This is going to be miserable. Well, the gel had just come out. Renew 28. Let me show you. This stuff saved me. Okay? This stuff I put on, we thought can't hurt, right? I put it on, and I just put it on one time. And this is where I see some people go wrong. They think, oh, one and done. No. I put this stuff on like every 30 minutes. I was like, let's just I think about it like construction workers on the job site. Like, I just need a lot of workers there to get this thing identified and to help the body to deal with it. I kid you not, I put this on, it stopped irritating me. I didn't have anything spread the next day. It was literally cleared up within 2 weeks, and this was all I did. So I thought, wow, if this is all this stuff does, this would be amazing. But then I dove in, right? My curiosity was clearly piqued. I didn't care that there wasn't, all this research that I was used to seeing. I mean, now there's way more. We're like a decade later, there's way more research. But back then I was just like, well, the stuff clearly works. What else is it doing for people? And I got really curious. And my cognitive therapist, who I'd been seeing for over a year, she had said to me, Danielle, I have worked with your type of injury for 30 years. I've never seen somebody have such improvement so far out from their initial accident, in such a rapid amount of time. What the hell is that stuff you started drinking? And I had to laugh because I was like, salt water? I don't really know what it is. And she wanted to know to tell her other patients. And I got on a phone call with Dr. David Silverman. I'll never forget it. And I was listening. And it was like, when you have those moments where the light bulbs go off? I was like, wait a second. With what he's saying, this is just a signal that when we were young, it was really loud. And as we've gotten older, it's just gotten weaker and weaker and weaker. And so the communication isn't going well. And that makes sense. I see that happen in the body, right? And as a biologist, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Part of the aging process. Things are slowing down. Things aren't repairing as fast. So all this does is puts the identical signaling molecules into the body. So your body thinks it made it. And it just amplifies the call. So now, all of a sudden, efficiencies go up. Things are heard where the issues are faster. Mutated cells are identified. They're killed off. Inside the cell, communication is happening stronger. And it's able to activate things that are getting turned off because of stress and different toxins in the environment. So the body is functioning in its most balanced and optimized way. And I just went, holy cow. That means any cell. And of course, my brain as a biologist, I'm like, plants, animals, people, across the board. I just went, this is so profound. And, something just stirred inside of me, and it just said, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life, because I lost my health. If you have ever lost your health, when you don't have your health, literally nothing else matters. And I had tried a litany of different things. A lot of them were working at the symptom level. I think about a plant, right? And, if this tree were sick, we would see it expressed in the leaves. And I feel like a lot of times in our medical system, we're treating symptoms. We're trying to rub the leaf and get it better, right? I had pounding in my head, so they gave me a pill to help deal with the pounding. But the root of the issue, right? We know in plants intuitively, oh, there's an issue. There's no water, or it needs more nutrients. Something's wrong with the soil. You need to deal with the root of the issue. That's what redox does. It goes to the root. It says, hey, the cells aren't signaling. The body's not knowing what's going on. Things are getting switched off. They need to be turned back on. Let's get the root of the issue fixed. And then simultaneously, all of a sudden, all these different leaves, right? All of these different symptoms that we're having, they start to just go away. Why? It's the same like what you would do with a plant. When you water it, when you give it, good nutrition in the soil, good nutrients, all of a sudden it gets perky, it gets happy, it's growing, right? It no longer has those issues. That's what I've seen with myself with this. And I just can't help but think everybody needs to know that this is an option out there. I don't care what people do with this information, but I do not want people just walking by this thinking, oh, it's expensive salt water. Oh, there's nothing to this. No, there are tens of thousands of people around the world in over 30 countries at this point using this, seeing amazing results. There's a lot of research now over the last decade that has come out studying ASEA Redox specifically, but the field of redox signaling has also made giant leaps and bounds ahead of where it was. I mean, this is a blossoming field. You're going to start hearing about cellular health more. Mark my words. Cellular health is where things are going. I'm already hearing murmurings of it more and more. People talking about mitochondrial health and having good energy. And redox is a key player in that space, okay? And this is a huge piece to be able to add to your body. To me, this is something that it's like, if I stop taking it, my damage isn't coming back, right? The body was able to repair. So why do I continue to take it? Well, I'm inundated by toxins. Like the amount of toxins, if you're not aware, it is frightening. With the amount of toxins we're exposed to in the air, in the water, in the food, just from pesticides, from stuff that's made in labs that our body is not supposed to know how to digest. I mean, it is remarkable that we're able to get through, but it's also not surprising we see so many different chronic issues, in our society, especially in the United States where I'm living. So all of that to say, I decided to stay on this because I wanted to give my body the best chance to identify issues, to keep activated, right, my genes that help with my hormones, that help my innate immune response, that help my body battle inflammation. I wanted all of that to be on high alert, to be functioning optimally, because I'm going to age, right? There's no way to turn back the clock, time is going to pass. But with this, I can stay biologically younger. I'm literally getting young, healthy cells in there. We see it the best on the skin. This is something that you can use on the skin. I myself, where is it? I use this. I love this Nano Mister. It's so gentle. I put the redox in it. I can breathe it in. I can put it in my eyes. And it's just a phenomenal thing. All right. I use redox with my dog. When he hurt himself, I rub redox all over. Right? We're exposed to a lot of different things out here living in the woods. He's got cuts and all sorts of stuff. We use redox. He got this crazy wart on his lip that my vet said, hey, it's viral, nothing we can do. It's going to take 3 months to pass. And I said, well, this can't hurt him. So I started to put the redox on. I had him drinking it thinking, well, hey, it's going to help his immune system, right? I kid you not, within a week, that stuff was out of his mouth. My vet couldn't believe it. And I took pictures because I was like, this is just amazing, and that's what I want you all to experience. So if this is something that you want to get started with, a journey that you'd like to get on, I have discount codes. You can get started with me. You can shop at my link. There's a way to get 30% off. The best value is the Essentials Bundle. You'll get enough liquid to do 6 ounces a day and gel. I personally drink 8 ounces a day. It's just what I love to do. I have since day one, but 6 ounces is really a nice sweet spot for most people. And the gel comes for free with that bundle, so you for sure want to get that. Now, if you've got questions, it's me here on the other side, so just reach out, text me, ask your questions. You can put it here in the comments. I'm happy to support you as you learn about this. I really want you to understand, what are you saying yes or no to? Everyone deserves to know this is an option out there. Everyone needs to know the potential of this to support themselves and their families, and then you make the decision that's right for you at this time. All right, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications, as I'm always putting out new content each and every week.